Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Chase Hooper to defeat Steve Garcia. And I'm here to talk about Terrance McKinney versus Brendon Marotte. Brendon Marotte making his UFC debut on a few days' notice, stepping up really short here. Credit to him. He's 26 years old, 8-1 as a pro, and he's got the same height but giving up 1.5 inches of reach to 29-year-old Terrance McKinney, who is 14-6. McKinney, look, he is one of the greatest fighters to watch. I love watching McKinney fight. I hope he never leaves the UFC. I hope he wins more than he loses because he's must-see TV. 20 fights altogether, 0 decisions. All 6 of his losses are finishes. All 14 of his wins are finishes. He's got 8 submission wins. I think maybe 6 of them, if not 7 of them, are rear naked chokes. And every one of those is in round 1. He does have one third-round submission. It's either a knee bar or a heel hook in round 3 somehow. I haven't seen that. But every other one of his wins, submission and knockout, are all in round 1. And the knockouts, he's got 6 of them. 5 of them, he's knocked his opponent dead, unconscious. And the last one, he TKO'd him. Terrance McKinney, that was Mike Brendon. Terrance McKinney, he is a first-round monster. This guy can go through anybody with his skills. He's a wrestler first and foremost, but has a really good back-taking game, and rear naked choke game. And on the feet, he's got bricks in his hands, and it's complemented by freakish athleticism, and he is just dynamic. So he's a problem for a lot of fighters that are natural UFC lightweights, let alone guys making their fight debuts on short notice and featherweights. So Terrance McKinney is trouble. However, he's got 6 losses, and again, all 6 of those are via finish. He was knocked out 4 times, really 3 times. One was an injury, but he was knocked out by Sean Woodson, who knocked him dead with a flying knee in round 2 in the Contender Series. Ismail Bonfim, who knocked him out with a flying knee in the UFC, and Drew Dober, who also TKO'd him in the UFC. Not much of a flying knee there, but he beat the shit out of him after almost getting killed by Terrance McKinney for the first 2 minutes. And he was also submitted twice. Darrick Minner got him with a triangle choke in round 1, which is a legitimate victory, believe it or not. And Nazim Sadikov rear naked choked him in round 2 last year, or a few months ago. And that's another thing I should mention. McKinney is very active. I love this about the guy. As long as he protects his chin. You know, you got to take off some time after those losses with your chin. But otherwise, you know, I just want to see this guy fight. Brendon Marotte stepping up on short notice here. He's 26 years old, 8-1 as a pro, 5 TKO victories, 1 submission, and 2 decisions. And his 1 loss does come by decision to this guy, Adley Edwards. Brendon Marotte, look, he's got heart, and he seems pretty durable, but he's got a lot going for him naturally here. You know, he's going to be up against a more natural lightweight who hits a lot harder, even if Marotte's got almost as many TKO wins. McKinney hits harder. McKinney should be a better wrestler and should be able to submit him in round 1. I think Terrance McKinney is better everywhere in round 1 when he's firing on all cylinders. Can Brendon Marotte take McKinney into round 2 and 3 and put him away? I think so. I think, I got to see the odds, but that's got to be all that's worth throwing a sprinkle on, really, in any McKinney fight. His opponent winning in rounds 2 and 3, McKinney winning in round 1. I'll tell you right now, my pick is McKinney wins in round 1. This guy Marotte, even though it was his amateur debut, he was submitted once, and it was a rear naked choke. Guy caught him with a rear naked choke, and that was standing, actually. It was set up standing anyway. But since then, even though he's largely looked good, he still had some trouble. He had another amateur loss I was able to see. He was taken down repeatedly. Which, whatever, I don't put too much stock into these 3-minute round amateur fights, even if it was a 5-rounder like that one was. But when a guy doesn't have too many fights anyway, You just look to what you can find. And I do think he's takedownable. He had this really close fight against this guy Dubuque, a split decision. This guy Dubuque is insanely durable, I'd say. He's got nothing but decision losses. Not the greatest record, but all of his losses are decisions, and some are to really good fighters like Manny Bermudez. And this guy Dubuque went tooth and nail with Brendon Marotte. It was a really close fight, could have gone either way. I thought Marotte did scratch and claw for a victory, though, and he did so with a lot of grit, scratching and clawing for rounds 2 and 3 after getting hurt in round 1. He was hurt. It looked like he was going to be TKO'd, being teed off on against the cage, but he was able to survive. However, that's one of the weaknesses I saw from him. He got caught, and he was caught dead. I mean, he was getting teed off on, wasn't circling out, didn't like the way he was covering up. He was leaving himself open. Terrance McKinney, if he smells any blood in the water, it's going to be over, I think. And again, he's been taken down plenty of times as well, Marotte. Marotte has 5 TKOs in his 8 wins. He does have some decent power, and he's caught some guys on the feet, but a lot of those are TKOs on the ground from what I've seen. Got the guy Joey Sanchez out of there. That was a full mount TKO, even though I think he knocked him down to get him there. But yeah, he's a well-versed fighter, Brendon Marotte, and it seems like he's got a lot of good traits as well. But I still see a vulnerable guy on a technical level, and that's not to mention everything he's got going against him physically, athletically, and circumstantially here. So I'm taking Terrance McKinney. I'm taking him to win via round 1, just like I did with Mike Brendon. I'll wait to see the odds, but I'll play Terrance McKinney. I'd favor a submission, which would be a rear naked choke, over a TKO, which I think I said that last time, and he ended up getting the TKO. So I'd probably just play round 1 flat, and I'll always bet against Terrance McKinney in rounds 2 and 3. I'm hoping the odds are really juicy, but who knows what they're going to look like, because I think everybody's on to Terrance McKinney at this point. Maybe they're watching my videos. But Terrance McKinney, nobody's watching my fucking videos. Terrance McKinney, round 1 is the pick. Brendon Marotte, rounds 2 and 3 are the sprinkles. And I'm also sprinkling on McKinney round 1. I think, anyway. I have to see the odds, but that's the only way I can ever break down any Terrance McKinney fight. When he's winning, he gets it done early, because the difference is usually big, and it's exacerbated by athleticism. And when he loses, all that shit he has going for him falls apart, and Terrance McKinney generally falls apart in one way or another. So that's that, but McKinney is the pick. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.